Welcome back to the Amica Mutual Pavilion in downtown Providence, Rhode Island. Thanks again for tuning in on a chilly Saturday night here in South New England. Brett Schaaf's captaining tonight's broadcast. Let's take a look at today's starting lineups. First for the visitors from Cleveland, Ohio. The second line forwards, Luca Pinelli, Hunter McCown, Tate Singleton. And then the first pair on defense, Guillaume Richard and Dyson Mayo. And then in goal for the Monsters tonight is Ivan Fedotov. Fedotov having a solid year so far with Cleveland after recently being acquired from Philadelphia. On the other side for the Providence Bruins, brought to you by Coca-Cola, Don Schmillis, Matthew Patra, Georgi Merkulov. Second pair on defense, Frederick Brunet and Ty Gallagher. And in goal for the P Bruins, the Windsor, Ontario native, Michael DiPietro. Matthew Patra will take the opening face-off here. Patra thought he had it initially. Monsters scoop it up, and we are officially underway in Providence. Played around by DiPietro. Monsters take control. It's McCown who shovels it over to the trapezoid. Now maintained by Ty Gallagher. Gallagher was a part of the strong effort by the defenseman in the scoring column this past weekend in victories at home against Lehigh Valley and Bridgeport. Had a magnificent goal in Sunday's win against the Phantoms. And his defensive partner, Frederick Brunet, in headlines in the AHL this week. Recently was named to the AHL All-Star Classic in Rockford, Illinois. He will join two of his teammates and head coach Ryan Mougenel in this year's festivities at the BMO Center. We'll talk about that in just a few short moments. Chance in front of the crease. Lysel got blockaded, and now it's slithered over to the near side. Wolanin maintains. Now past John Farinacci, and Lysel will speed in. Monsters now pushed into the attacking zone. Putting on the brakes in front of the goal. Stopped by DiPietro. He will make the effort inside of the torso, and clock stops. Well, the Bruins had a strong 3-3 this past weekend, but fell to start this week's efforts. A 4-1 loss against the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins on Wednesday. Michael DiPietro did net Michael Callahan, netted his first goal of the AHL campaign this year. He now has 4 points on the year for the Providence Bruins. He's also played some time up in Boston. By the right wing, Monsters looked for the shot, couldn't get it. Now it's Del Bel Belou's in front, but just misses wide. Chopped, and this will go off of the ice and out of play. First line forwards return to the ice here for Providence. Brown, Tufte, and Blumel, with Callahan and Warner on the ice. We have not seen Warner here at the Amica Mutual Pavilion in some time. Well, makes an appearance tonight against the Cleveland Monsters. By the far side, Tufte on the back check. Jack Williams takes over, left wing. Now do they go to the high point? Wide to the left wing, a shot on goal, save DiPietro, rebound, and Providence will swarm in. It's now covered by Blumel to the near side. Williams to the right point. Brown, good effort by the captain. Williams looks to the doormat. And now they will escape with Patrick Brown. Monsters will drop back and go for a fresh charge here by the near wall. Off the forehand of Jack Williams, the Biddeford, Maine native, 18 points on the year for Cleveland. And that's in 34 games of action. Multiple New Englanders on this Monsters roster. And Jack Williams highlights them here. This is down the left side of the ice for icing. Justin Pearson, another New England native here for Cleveland, the Nashua, New Hampshire native. Standing ovation here at the Amica Mutual Pavilion as they display this year's Providence Bruins All-Stars that are heading to the AHL All-Star Classic in Rockford. Of course, we mentioned Brunet, Michael DiPietro gets his second consecutive nod to the All-Star Classic this year. Quick shot from the point and blocked by Providence. And earlier this month, it was also announced that Patrick Brown would be one of 2 playing captains this year. Chaos in front of the Monsters' goal. Play comes to a halt as Riley Duran went on a full collision with the goal in front of Fedotov. And so play will reset just outside of the Monsters' crease. They'll officially set up camp inside of the left dot by Cleveland territory. Matt Poitras will take the draw here for the Providence Bruins. Shots on goal so far led by the Cleveland Monsters, 2-0. On ice crew taking a quick look at Fedotov's crease. Fix the pipes and we are back to go. Fantastic crowd here at the Amica Mutual Pavilion. 7,000 plus in attendance as the Bruins chase for their search and win number 26 on the air. Past the spoked P for Victor Soderstrom. Merkulov will chop it to the trapezoid. Lushmilis throws in his left shoulder, and now controlled by Wolanin. Lets one rip, and that one just misses the left post. Around the cage for Lushmilis once more. Scooped up by Merkulov on the loose deflection. Wolanin finds Merkulov, and now Cleveland has the open lane down the far wall. They stretch it to Malatesta down the far side of the ice. Good effort by Wolanin in the far corner. Poitras looking for Lushmilis. And now McHugh sends it up top. Loose puck just inside of the right wing. And Georgi Merkulov will grab a hold. Line changes incoming from both sides. Christian Wolanin will start the effort down the near side. They now go to the far corner. And this one will be blown dead just outside of the Cleveland bench. 4 minutes gone by in the first period. We want to extend a deep greeting to all of those tuning in from the American Hockey League social media channels on today's free game of the week. Cleveland and Providence on a spectacular Saturday night. Of course, this is game number 3 of 4 the P Bruins and Monsters will face off in this season. The Bruins already played Cleveland twice back in November. They swept the Monsters in what was a red-hot start for the Bruins back in the fall. They had only suffered 1 loss during that span, and that was a shutout loss at home against the Hershey Bears. They then turned right back around for a 2-game series in Cleveland, and they got it done on the road. So Providence heading into this game having the 2-0 series lead over the Monsters. Brunet plays it back around for Fabian Lysel, and Patrick Brown will shovel this out. Meanwhile, the Monsters somehow keep it on side. It goes through the trapezoid. Quick shot outside of the right wing. And Patrick Brown puts a stop to that. Pinelli now to Williams, who takes a shove from behind. Tufte looking upstream. Has the edge. 2-on-1. Tufte shoots. He scores! Marvelous from Riley Tufte. And the Bruins make it 1-0. What an effort from Riley Tufte. Beats the defense through neutral ice and buries it past Fedotov for the good goal. Taking another look at the Rebath replay, Tufte actually got a clean break off of his skate, and all he had to do was pick it glove side on Ivan Fedotov. And he gets the 1-0 lead for Providence. 14th goal of the season, 26 total points now in the campaign. For Riley Tufte, he sits just behind his teammates Patrick Brown and Georgi Merkulov. 1-0 Providence, just about a quarter into this contest. Brown. Warner takes a hit but dumps it off. .458 the official time of goal for Riley Tufte. A deflected puck, and that will end up in the bleachers. Face-off inside of the left wing here for Providence. They will keep the first line forwards on the ice. Matej Blumel sets up at right wing just in front of Fedotov. Blumel scoops it up, fires it to the crease, but that one blocked. Monsters will now escape, and they have it near wall. Wolanin chucks it over to the red line. Nice block by Blumel. Sets up a charge for the captain. Fights through a pair of defenders. Saucer pass to Tufte, who almost got a shot away. But it's blocked once again by Cleveland. The Monsters have been a defensively sound team through the first half of this campaign. Despite being 5th in the North, they continue to put up solid numbers in this division. And they sit less than 10 points back of what they're hoping to be a division lead down the stretch. Monsters will exit just outside of the left side of your screen. It's Ty Gallagher now chasing down the far wall. Here's Jake Schmaltz. Connects with Joey Abate. Chip and chase near side, but they are flagged down for icing. No assist on the Riley Tufte goal as of this point in time. Again, his 14th goal of the season. And it brings us to our first media timeout of the contest. What an effort by Riley Tufte, who manages to score his 26th point on the season. And after beating the defense all the way through neutral ice and down the stretch on a 2-on-1, he beats Ivan Fedotov to make it 1-0 Providence. Tonight's Providence Bruins game is presented to you in part by Brown Health Medical Group Surgery and Cool Air Creations. Earlier in the first period, we talked about Providence's tough loss to Wilkes-Barre Scranton on Wednesday. The Monsters have yet to play this week, but they did split a weekend series with the Hershey Bears last weekend. They lost 3-2 on Saturday, but followed up in a valiant effort, an overtime victory 3-2 on Sunday. It was Jack Williams who netted the game-winning goal. Sillinger and Koolmans also had assists on the effort. And then in the Sunday contest, Delbel Balouz and Singleton also netted goals in the winning effort. Sawchenko, 28 of 30 in goal. Fedotov played Saturday in the 3-2 loss. He was 28 of 31 in his start. Faceoff is won by the Bruins, and they'll push this one in by the far wall. Fedotov creeps out of the net and plays it along for Cleveland. Just outside of the blue line, Bruins have to be careful of offsides. Brunet now upstream. Schmaltz takes a shove off of the shoulder. Connected with Stanislav Svozil. Now it's Gallagher on the forecheck, far wall. And Cleveland has the outlet near side. Right wing, played around by Sillinger. Poke checked by Gallagher. Brunet, a dangerous pass in front of the goal. And picked once again up by the Monsters. They will clear with 12:50 to go in the first frame. This one rattles around the glass. And Gallagher will scoop up the loose change. Patra and Merkulov will set up far side for the Bruins. Here comes Brunet. Lushmelis tips it in. Patra first to the puck, far corner. Beats Malatesta. Merkulov, toe drag, shoots, and that one just over the crossbar. The loose rebound goes to Patra. Now Max Warner plays it around the boards. Now left point, Michael Callahan. Drops it underneath. And the Monsters once again escape dangerous territory. Callahan pitchforks this one down the far boards. Merkulov. Grabbed by Cleveland. Saucered around by Rylan Mosley. Underneath the trapezoid, McHugh goes to the forehand. Now Malatesta plays the opposite direction. To the right point we go. Kuhlmans swoops it in. Callahan. Malatesta. And now Lushmilis will survey upstream. Patra almost had the one-on-one coverage there on Guillaume Richard. But it's Cleveland who will prevail with 11.5 to go. Singleton to the far wall. Looking for an open lane down the left wing. 2-on-2 as they file into the far corner. Looking to the left point. Fenn shot picked up by Fabian Lysel. And he'll shove this one towards the Bruins bench. Played around by Cleveland. Now Wolanin, he'll drub this out of harm's way. And the Monsters will take over just outside of center ice. Here's Wolanin trying to fight off 3 different defenders here from Providence. Slow roller to the goal, blocked, and now played upstream by Soderstrom. Bruins able to exit. It's Harrison on the chase. Kuhlmans has it. And this one played back in towards DiPietro. Initially had it in the glove. He'll play it along for Wolanin. Wolanin, originally under a PTO contract for the Providence Bruins, signed a few months into the season. He is now playing on a full-time AHL contract for Providence after earning his spot through that PTO. Filled the void of Jonathan Aspero, who since being called up by Boston has not returned to Providence. And he has also signed an extension with the Boston Bruins. He has been playing spectacular with the NHL Bruins this year. To the near side, Patrick Brown plays it to the left point. Well, Cleveland once again successful on the back check. Here's Williams, goes to the goal, blocked by Brunet, trying to go up north to Blumel, but that pass too hot to handle. Downstream for Callahan, connects with Warner, the former Bakersfield Condor. Here's Schmaltz now. Even numbers through neutral ice. Abate takes the shot himself, but misses. Here's Duran. Occupies himself underneath. Centering pass for Schmaltz. They go back to the former Friar. Loops around the right wing. He'll now walk it all the way up to the left point. Duran locates Schmaltz. Now Schmaltz taking a wicked blast from Richard. To the back of the cage. Schmaltz. Forecheck effort. Finds Abate, who lets it rip. But that one deflects off a stick and goes out of play. Second of 3 immediate timeouts in the first period will start here, and the Bruins still have a 1-0 advantage over the Cleveland Monsters. Riley Tufte's unassisted goal at 4:58 is the difference maker to this point in time. His 14th goal in the year, 26th total point. Be sure to stop by the Pro Shop, built by AJT Supplies, at your next P Bruins game and every game night to check out the item of the game. Plus, you can visit ProvidenceBruins.com to browse and buy on their all-new online Pro Shop, thanks to our friends at AJT Supplies. So outside of the immediate timeout, face-off will be set up on the left side of your screen. Lushmilis, Merkulov, and Patro will be the forwards, with Soderstrom and Wolanin. Soderstrom and Wolanin have been paired on a few occasions to open up the new year as they continue to mix things up on defense for Providence. But no matter what the pairings are, this defense has seen significant improvement. And it shows in not only just paper transactions with guys being called to NHL Boston, but in box scores. The defensemen are producing. They're getting points on the board. They're playing strong on both sides of the ice. And they're giving the forwards opportunities and quality looks in front of opposing netminders. Soderstrom by the right point, and this will once again go out of play. Face off once again in Cleveland territory. Poitras to square dance. Won by the Monsters, and they will clear. Providence working through their own zone. They're backed up towards the crease. Loschmilis gathers the loose change, and this one is slid out. Underneath Poitras' stick. It's now occupied by Sillinger. And out of the near side again. Wobbly puck towards DiPietro. He'll stick it along to Soderstrom, the former Tucson Roadrunner. Played towards the cage, but that one ricochets behind for Kuhlmans. Played around to the point, of blast, and a stop in dead heap by Michael DiPietro. Had a clean look at the blue line, and DiPietro denies the opportunity from Cleveland's defense. Brunet and Gallagher will once again return to the ice as the defensive pair. Farinacci with Lysel and Harrison are the forwards. Providence escapes. Now it's Farinacci on the tail. Brunet first to the puck near side. Gallagher slaps it around. Now McHugh trying to wrap this around for Rylan Mosley. Harrison locates the outlet. Has Farinacci, former member of the Harvard University Crimson. Saucer's shot just misses the cage. McHugh down the right wing, picked off by Brunet. Here comes Brett Harrison. And now Lysel will slow things down over halfway through the first frame. Lysel through the legs, gets tripped up in neutral ice, but no penalty. Brown. Now Warner. And Cleveland will stab at this one to clear. Max Warner shoveling it towards Callahan. A quintuplet of bodies now inside of the near corner. And now it's Matej Blumel. A good spin around move by Riley Tufte. Has Brown who drags, but his effort is thwarted. The first 13 and change of this game, Riley Tufte has been impressive. Another toe drag move. McCown cuts to the crease. And another beautiful stop by DiPietro. That time laid out the stick and denied the chance in front of the crease. Another shot from the blue line. And, well, the Aldridge Bastion winner says no again. Another look at the Rebath replay. What a move by McCown to even get close to the net. Michael DiPietro gets down low to make the save. Duncan is offering fans like you the chance to win an upgrade to glass seats for a Providence Bruins game this season. Go to providencebruins.com to enter for the chance to win an upgrade to glass seats at your next P. Bruins game, fueled by Duncan. The Bruins defense will start a charge down the near side of the neutral zone. Now it's Abate behind with Kuhlmans. And this one ramps to the corner with Will Butcher. 6:25 to go in the first frame. Cleveland, 3 over the blue line. A shot blocked by Wolanin. Corson Kuhlmans once again goes to the near side and taken away. Duran and Abate this time. 2-2 as they go over the blue line. A hit down in the near corner by Abate. Shot from the right point, tipped again by Joey Abate. And that one will be stopped. Fedotov makes the save. Ivan Fedotov, 6'7", 214 pounds. He joins Bridgeport goaltender Henrik Tikkanen as some of the tallest goaltending we've seen in recent memory in the American Hockey League. A trade acquisition from the Philadelphia Flyers organization, played a handful of games at the NHL level, and now has had a quality season with the Cleveland Monsters, who are without Jet Greaves, but a solid campaign from his former backup, Zach Sawchenko. Wrapped around from Merkulov. And now incoming is Ty Gallagher. To the far side we go. Right point Gallagher. Looking to slide it across, instead dumps it off. And picked up by Svozil underneath his own net. Cleveland. Wobbly puck just outside of the Bruins bench. Open look, splitting the defense. They trail it back. Sillinger a shot. And just missing was Del Bel Belouz. Patra looking for Merkulov, still trailing 3 points of the all-time franchise scoring record. 210 is the magic number for him to tie Andy Hilbert amongst the franchise best. Inside of the right wing, they drop it off. A quick chance again, and a stop by DiPietro. Ryland Mosley had the look, but DiPietro once again has the denial. Final media timeout in downtown Providence, and the Bruins continue to maintain their 1-0 advantage over Cleveland. Riley Tufte's 14th goal of the year, 26th total point, unassisted at 4 minutes and 58 seconds. Well, the Bruins will reset here. A strong effort on defense for Providence, who not only is playing a good game on the back check, but they've also been able to start opportunities from their back ice inside of the neutral zone. Brunet and Gallagher have been a part of that charge. We talk about Brunet's game time and time again. And since he's entered this organization just a few seasons ago, he's continued to improve his game. This season, a 10 rating. And again, the 17 points we talked about in 34 games of action. He joined in 2022, just played 1 game after signing as a free agent with Providence, then proceeded to play 48 games the following season, 12 points, and then had a career-high 25 in just under 70 games in the 24-25 campaign. Brunet, the QMJHL veteran, continues to exemplify why he is one of Providence's top defenders this season. And he is joined by a young Ty Gallagher, who has seen a significant increase in his minutes after being paired with Freddie Brunet, and he himself has looked impressive through the last 2 months of play. A shot from the near wall as Cleveland gets an attacking draw. Malatesta to the net, and a save made again. Here's Max Warner. He was nursing an injury earlier in the year, fully healthy and now paired with Callahan. Farinacci turns it over. And now Cleveland will work out of their own ice. Down the near side, waiting. Mosley knotted up with Callahan under 4.5 to play in the first period. Callahan shoves the attack out of harm's way. Now underneath his own net, he finds Warner and Lysel. A nasty hit from behind on Warner, and it looks like we are going to get a delayed penalty. Some shoving after the fact, and Callahan comes to the rescue. Took some serious displeasure to the push from behind on Max Warner. And it looks like we are going to get a cross-checking call here against the Monsters. Another look at the replay of what happened inside of the far wall. That was Malatesta knotted up, but Max Warner luckily appeared to be okay. Callahan, of course, showed his displeasure with Malatesta after the whistle. Threw a nasty shove by the wall. And with that, the Bruins will get their first power play of the evening. This Providence Bruins Power Play with Purpose brought to you by Rhode Island Energy. For every power play goal scored by the PE Bruins this season, Rhode Island Energy will donate $25 in support of the PE Bruins community partners. To learn more about the Power Play with Purpose, visit providencebruins.com. First line unit on the ice here for the Bruins. Brown takes the draw, but it's won by Cleveland. Setting up at the left point, Patra, but it escapes his reach. Malatesta in the box, officially 2 minutes. So the Monsters will see their first penalty kill of the evening, and Providence will go to work on what has been all season long a division best power play. Official call on the ice for Malatesta is interference at 15:52. Brown and cuts inside of the trapezoid. Now to the point. Wolanin slides it across for Blumel. He scores! Blumel buries it. 2-0 Providence. Are you not entertained by Matej Blumel? An absolute rifle from the right wing, set up by Christian Wolanin as we take another gander at the Rebath replay. Once again, it's that glove side of Ivan Fedotov that gets beaten, and Matej Blumel gets on the board here for the Providence Bruins. This first line continues to click. His 5th goal of the year, 18th total point. Wolanin picks up the primary assist as he approaches 9 assists on the year. 16:33 time of the goal as well on the power play for Matej Blumel. Inside of DiPietro's trapezoid, he escapes the crease and plays it along. Wrapped around by Abate. Schmaltz, a good pass. Here comes Duran. Finds Schmaltz's shot. And a save made by Fedotov. And Duran took a fistful as he finished the effort. He got smushed on the left side of your screen on the boards. No penalty as of right now after everything that just ensued. Duran, luckily, able to get up in a strong fashion. He'll head to the bench, so good to see Duran get up on his own accord. But the Monsters now have to defend a face-off inside of their own zone. Matt Patra picks up the secondary assist on Blumel's power play goal, his 15th of the year. Cleveland will once again escape. Down by a pair of goals. Inside of the crease, wide shot. And Providence once again stands tall on the attack. Just under 2.5 to go in the first period. Brunet goes through Sillinger. And a pass intended for Harrison is picked off. Delbel Balouz plays it around. And now Gallagher and Brunet will swarm on it. Here's Farinacci. Has the look down the left wing on the brakes looking for Lysel, who missed on the pass. It was a good attempt by Farinacci, but the Bruins could not finish the effort. Glove is up for DiPietro, and it will be icing against Cleveland. So this face-off coming back to Monsters territory. Face off to the right wing, just outside of Fedotov. Loshmilis will set up in front of the goal. 3 spread out for Cleveland by the crease. Effort taken in by the Monsters, and Christian Wolanin is there to pick it off at center ice. Now Wolanin finds the outlet in Merkulov, no shot. And sends this to the point. Wolanin lets it go, hit a stick, and now scooped up by Patra. Goes to the left wing. Wolanin waits, crease, and Patra missed the shot. Now by Loshmilis. Right point. Merkulov jabs. And now Wolanin as the Monsters escape. Sillinger will chase the puck with Soderstrom. Quick shot. Sillinger finds the blue liner rip, and a great block by Patra. Tufte was trying to go after it, but he is stopped by Dyson Mayo. We are going to get a whistle with just under a minute to go. Tufte showing some unhappiness with Dyson Mayo after that one. And we'll bring this one back to the neutral zone after the call. Right dot, just outside of Providence territory. Fired in by the Monsters under a minute to play in the first frame. Warner Tipped by Callahan. Dangerous look, but scooped up by Warner. The Bruins will spread out. Here's Callahan. Now to the near side. 33 seconds to go. Callahan plays it back for Warner. Bruins just killing off some clock here in the final seconds. Outside of the Bruins bench, Monsters just looking for an open shot. Tufte, another great spin to find an open body. This time it's Callahan. They stretch this down the length of the ice. This will carry him around the Cleveland boards, and it is signaled for icing. So we'll try this one again, this time face off in Providence territory. Luca Del Bel Baluz will take the draw. 6'1", 185 pounds from Woodbridge, Ontario. Team leading 24 points heading into this game. Another ricocheted shot, and that will escape the ice. So once again, a left wing face-off. This time it'll be Sillinger with Patrick Brown, the captain. Won by the Monsters, trying to send it on a quick shot, but that one blocked. A blue line chance, and that one high of the crossbar. By Callahan, the horn will sound as the final skirmish settles down. And the Bruins will go into the locker room with the lead, and Callahan shoves, and there is all sorts of chaos. Tufte there, Blumel involved. Oh man, just when you thought things were gonna end clean, Callahan let it loose. So much tension boiling through the final moments of that first period, and Callahan had enough. So he lays his shove. We'll see if any penalties result of this. There are 3 different sticks on the ice as well after everything. Sillinger still jawing at it with Warner and Callahan. Same thing with Corson Kuhlmans. Bruins faithful raining down a set of boos to the Monsters as they head to the locker room. But the P Bruins go to the intermission up 2-0. Tufte and Blumel both grab the goals. Power play effort from Matej Blumel, and we will break it all down through the first period intermission report. Don't go away. More after this on AHL TV by FloHockey. We are officially through 20 minutes here at the Amica Mutual Pavilion, and the Providence Bruins have put on a showcase to start this contest. They lead it 2-0 over the Cleveland Monsters And it all started at 4:58 in the frame. Riley Tufte beat two different defenders, a 2-on-1 down the left side of your screen, and buries it glove side on Ivan Fedotov for his 14th of the year. And the unassisted effort for Riley Tufte got the energy boosted and the party started for the Providence Bruins. And then about 12 and change minutes later, Matej Blumel, his 5th goal of the year on the power play, assisted by Christian Wolanin and Matthew Poitras to make it 2-0. Blumel was just waiting for a setup from Wolanin at the top of the point. He got the look and absolutely rifled it glove side on Fedotov to give them the 2-goal advantage. Offensively, the Bruins have been ringing today. 4 shots, but 4 absolute perfect opportunities in front of the Monsters goaltender. And they actually are down in the shot column heading into period 2, 8-4. But the Bruins are certainly emphasizing the message that sometimes it's not about how many opportunities you get, but what you do with the opportunities you have. And they have certainly capitalized so far in front of Cleveland. The Monsters on the other side, they have gotten the short end of the stick to open up this contest. 8 shots on Michael DiPietro, but the majority of them have been outside of the crease. They've just been lone rollers that DiPietro's been able to casually stop. They have not been able so far to get up close and personal on the P. Bruins netminder, and that's thanks to a Providence defense that has successfully built a blockade. They took their lessons from the Wednesday loss against Wilkes-Barre Scranton, and they applied them today, and it has certainly been a much different defense than we saw from Wednesday against the Penguins. Giving an update from the skirmish that happened in the final moments of the first period, Michael Callahan and Pinelli, Luca Pinelli of the Cleveland Monsters, were each charged with roughing minors, so 2 minutes a pop, and both of them will sit to start the second period. So when we see period number 2 begin in just a few minutes, it'll be 4-on-4 hockey for Providence and Cleveland. There were 3 total penalties in the first period, if you include both of those, plus a James Malatesta interference call at 15:52 in the first. That's what set up the eventual power play goal by Matej Blumel. Before we take a break, heading into the second period, let's grab a gander at some of the other scores in the American Hockey League. We'll start in Grand Rapids with the Griffins and the Milwaukee Admirals, 0-0 at the end of the first period. Over in Utica, New York, the Amherst down 0-2 to the Comets in the final frame of regulation. End of the second, in Wilkes-Barre Scranton, Pennsylvania, the Pack down 1-4 to the Pens as Wilkes-Barre Scranton continues to fire on all cylinders. In Bridgeport, the Islanders are up 1-0 at the end of the first period against the Springfield Thunderbirds in an Atlantic Division matchup. Iowa hosts the Marlies. End of the first period in Iowa as the Wild lead it 3-1. End of 20 over in Allentown, Pennsylvania. Zeros between the Phantoms and the Crunch. And games yet to begin on this Saturday evening. Rockford at Chicago, 7 p.m. Central. Ontario at Texas, 7 p.m. Central. Henderson at Colorado, 6:05 Mountain Time. Coachella Valley at San Diego, 6 p.m. Pacific. And San Jose at Tucson, 7 p.m. Mountain Time. Games that have wrapped up. Hershey won in overtime. A big win against the Charlotte Checkers, 4-3. And then the Moose up north against the Laval Rocket won it on the road against Laval by a final score of 3-0. 2-0 here in favor of the Bruins over the Cleveland Monsters thanks to Tufte and Blumel. 40 minutes of action left to go. What will we see? Find out after this here on AHL TV by FloHockey. Welcome back to downtown Providence. The P Bruins up 2-0 over the Cleveland Monsters. Riley Tufte and Matej Blumel, the goal scorers. Blumel most recently on the power play. And if you missed the final seconds of the first period, 2 roughing calls were assessed to Luca Pinelli and Michael Callahan, one of each side. So we will start this second period on 4-on-4 hockey. So the Bruins will try to maintain their 2-0 advantage while the Monsters will look to reset and try to find some ground here in this middle hash. Faceoff will be at center ice. Jack Williams will take the draw here for the Monsters. He'll match up with Patrick Brown. Center ice draw, we fight for it, and we are officially underway in the second period. Monsters will take over. It's Williams through the neutral zone, down the right wing. They shoot, and a save made by Michael DiPietro. Down the wing, Brunet looking for Blumel, just missed. Now it's Blumel once again, swooping around the far side of the zone. Brown, a jab. Scooped up once again by Cleveland, who will look to exit. Inside, a quick shot on Fedotov and a save made. There's Lishmilis. And now Soderstrom feeds the left wing. Markulov jabbing at it. Lishmilis is there. And now by the blue line. Monsters will escape. It's Delbel Balouz taking over the blue line. Slides it back. Quick shot. That one fanned. And Providence will take over. A quick transition the other way. It's Markulov. Cuts. Finds the left wing. Lishmilis up top. Markulov couldn't finish the job. And now Providence will maintain zone possession underneath the net. Down goes Cleveland. Inside. Quick shot. And that one blocked again. Lishmilis will force it out. Final 5 seconds here in their respective penalties. And now it's Michael DiPietro by the net. Underneath. And through neutral ice. Scooped up and played upstream by Stanislav Svozil. Face-off just outside of Michael DiPietro. Bruins will keep Brunet and Gallagher on the ice. Callahan swoops in as a tertiary defender. Fabian Lysel, the only forward, as we wrap up the remainder of this 4-on-4. We are officially back to even strength as the Monsters go back through neutral ice. It's a fresh reset, 2.5 minutes in. Marinacci past him. Here comes Tate Singleton. Poke checked away by Lysel and pushed out of harm's way again by the Providence Bruins. Here's Gallagher back with Brunet. And now they'll creep just outside of the smoked P. Bobbled pass. Now it goes back to Cleveland. Underneath the cage, played up front, a centering pass and just missing wide. Where are the Monsters? Hunter McHugh had the chance on the left pad of DiPietro. Now it's Providence with 3 over the blue line. They send it over to the far wall. And now up to the point. Callahan drops it downstairs. Abate off of the back of the net. Duran trying to wrap it around. He's poke checked away by Richard. Here comes Malatesta. Walks it in. Wobbly puck. Providence able to clear. It's Joey Abate. And Cleveland once again is able to thwart the chance. Abate frustrated with himself as he was smushed by the bench by James Malatesta. Here come the Bruins and Duran. Malatesta's got a hold. Through center ice. Now over the blue line. Down the left wing. Warner slid up top. Duran gave it away in front. And Cleveland once again, no shot. They have been missing on a few different chances in front of the goal. As once again, Providence takes it away. Here comes Patrick Brown. Slides it over to the far side. Tufte setting up Blumel, but it's poked away once more. Cleveland with Pearson. An Nashua, New Hampshire native. Played around by DiPietro. Sticked to Soderstrom. Now it's Providence trying to split the defense. Whistle comes at 15:18 to go in the second period. This will be brought back. Face off inside of the right wing. Patrick Brown trying to take the face-off win. Christian Wolanin scoops it up. Now he is knotted just outside of the trapezoid. To the point. Cleveland tried to throw one towards the goal, but they failed on the initial effort. Dyson Mayo dropped back. And now Providence will seize their chance to push. Tufte played around by McDonald. Now to the left point for Brown. Swoops downstairs. And now Blumel will pick it up as this goes past Wolanin. Wobbly puck to the trapezoid. And now it's Matthew Patra. Waiting. Patra trying to look towards the left wing. It's sticked out by Cleveland. Merkulov trying to keep it on side, but he misses. To the far wall. Patra upstream. Providence exits. Cleveland will chase underneath the net of Fedotov. To the cage, DiPietro. Gallagher's got it. Delbel Balouz to the right point. And now occupied by Cleveland as Brunet fights for the puck. A pass up to the left point. They slide it across. Good perimeter action. Now to Dumais. Picked off. Here comes Merkulov in search of the goal. Shoots and just missed on a save by Fedotov. Kept on side. Patra lets one rip. And that one will miss the cage. To the corner, Merkulov meticulously awaits a pass. Farinacci, doorstep feed, looking for a scrum opportunity. Fedotov makes the save. Just missing on the opportunity in the last effort, Lysel. And now the Bruins will send it over to the near side. Down the wall, Singleton a shot, and a beautiful glove save by Michael DiPietro. A little bit of a skirmish after the fact, but the Bruins get a save in stride to start the first media timeout. 2-0 Bruins, just about halfway through this middle hash. Shots on goal are 11-8 in favor of the Monsters. Cleveland has only had 3 shots in this middle frame. 4 for Providence in the second. 8 total shots in both periods. The American Hockey League hits harder on FloHockey. Every game, every goal, every hit, all season long. AHL TV on FloHockey gives you access to every American Hockey League game. Watch your team Follow top prospects and stay on top of all the action on the ice. Subscribe now to stream it all live on AHL TV by FloHockey. Bruins started off the new year strong, consecutive wins in the first weekend of 2026. The wagon fell off just a tiny bit, losses to Hartford and Wilkes-Barre Scranton, but obviously in this game they are back on top of their stride in a 2-0 lead over Cleveland, who has played a strong effort defensively throughout the entire first half of this 25-26 season. Face off inside of the left wing. Chess game for possession, checkmate to Cleveland. Now up top, Monsters shoot it from the point, stop and a save by DiPietro. He'll cover it up, and some shoving after the whistle again. So the Bruins defense coming to the aid of their netminder, and we will get another restart of action in Providence territory. Schmaltz, Duran, Abate return to the ice for Providence. They'll stick a 2-1 formation in front of DiPietro as Providence wins the faceoff. Stretch pass, good tip by Duran looking for Schmaltz. Callahan will carry the play on. Now it's Cleveland. McCown. And that one knotted up by the far side. Near wall of Bruins. Schmaltz. Knotted up with Malatesta again. Dyson Mayo takes a blast from behind by Abate. Now it's over to the far wall. Far side. Cleveland controls. In front of the goal, and another shot blocked, this time by Callahan. High of the right slot. They await a chance. Butcher trying to throw it on the goal. Instead finds a pass. Pinelli. Pushed away by Warner. Bruins will look to clear. And now it's tied up by the near wall. Downstairs for Max Warner. And this successfully is transferred to neutral ice. Line change incoming for both sides. So we'll get a restart of action here as both sides go to the neutral zone. Faceoff will be just inside of Providence territory. They're going to call a late penalty here on Riley Duran, so 2-minute minor here. And the Bruins will go to their first penalty kill of the evening, brought to you by Flood Auto Group. So Duran will sit for 2 minutes. It's the first 5-on-4 advantage for the Monsters tonight. They had a Providence player in the box to start the second period, but it was 4-on-4 roughing. Shot and a save made by DiPietro. Rebound will go outside, and now the Bruins have an open look shorthanded. Here comes Brown, left wing, drags to the crease, and Fedotov made the save. A marvelous look from the netminder. And Cleveland will march on in their odd man advantage. Here come the Monsters, near side. To the top, Brown clears. And it allows the Bruins to get some breathing room. Butcher. Now they go back downstairs with Pinelli. To the far wall. Good effort on the back check by Brunet. 10:42 to go in the second, and this is saucered away by Ty Gallagher. So Fedotov will leave it back for Butcher to start another charge with under a minute to go. Brunet slides this one down on a quick effort. And nowhere to go here for the Monsters. This is a power play unit for Cleveland that has remained amongst the bottom of the North Division. Just over 16% efficiency compared to Rochester, who was around 25% effectiveness. Penalty kill for the Providence Bruins this year has been middle of the road in the division. 84% even on effectiveness against their opponents. Final 15 seconds here of the power play, and we'll get a whistle. Just getting an update, the official call on the ice for Riley Duran was slashing, assessed at 8:23 in the second period. Cleveland down the far side. Played up to the right point. And this one will go out. 1 second remaining on the penalty to Riley Duran. So the Bruins will set up for 5-on-5 hockey after the puck drops here in Bruins territory. Patrick Brown will square dance in the right wing for Providence. Fighting for possession is Hunter McCown. Cleveland retains. Duran out of the box, so we are back to even strength. And Duran will start an odd man advantage for the Bruins the other way. Brown waits and shoots, and Fedotov got a piece of it. Now it's Blumel. Slid up to the top by Brown. Bruins will work the perimeter. McCown. Picked off. Blumel waits for his chance. Goes left point. Callahan. A shot by Blumel. And this will end up in the net for a stoppage. Second immediate timeout here at the AMP, and the Bruins still have that 2-0 advantage over the Cleveland Monsters. Tufte and Blumel have the goals both in the first period at 4:58 and 16:33 respectively. And Michael DiPietro has been superb to this point, 13 of 13 between the pipes. We're going to take a short break here on AHL TV by FloHockey. 2-0 Providence with more action after this. We wrap up the media break as Providence will open up an offensive face-off by the left wing. Donzla Schmillis will take the face-off here with Cleveland's Max McHugh. Providence ends up getting the skirmish off to the draw. Quick shot and a block by McHugh. Taken over by Merkulov. Finds Patra. But that second-ditch effort was no good. Wolanin getting chased after. Somehow finds an outlet inside of the neutral zone as Cleveland retains. Stretch pass as Merkulov blew a tire. Finding Malatesta and a chance. A torso save by DiPietro. Patra has Lysel. Now even numbers over the blue line. Lysel waits for some help. And he'll carry him this one around the boards. Brunet pauses. He'll now survey. He'll set up at the right point and drop it low. Lysel. Pitter patter on his stick, lets it go. And that one reached up high. Farinacci and Lysel jabbing just outside of the trapezoid. Fresh onto the ice is Fabian Lysel. He'll set up in front of the crease. Here's Butcher. Drubs this one out. Now Lysel grabs a hold with speed. Drops it off. Farinacci, give and go. Lysel wraps it around. Oh, man! What a move by Fabian Lysel, and it's 3-0 Providence. Fabian Lysel with a video game move, and the Bruins make it 3-0 courtesy of this Rebath replay. Lysel beats that right pad of Ivan Fedotov. This time it's that right side instead of the glove edge of Fedotov that gets beat. And a nice feed by Farinacci allows Lysel to go downstairs to make the goal. 3-0 Bruins, 12th of the season for Fabian Lysel. And the goal at 12:27. Bruins pick up right where they left off with 7:23 to go in the second. Now Cleveland. A lone rusher down to the near side. Michael Callahan finds Tufte. And tic-tac-toe, no good. Just outside of the left wing, Cleveland looking to crash. They can't find an open look. They go to DeMay. And now to the point as it is cleared. Neutral zone, picked off. Blumel has to backtrack, though, as Owen Sillinger was able to grab it back. John Farinacci picks up an assist, his primary, and 6th assist on the year for Farinacci. In front of the crease, DiPietro sticks it away. Now it's Abate, spreading out Duran. Shot on goal, stopped by Fedotov. Abate to the crease, stopped. McCown shoves Riley Duran out of the way. We will get a whistle. The Cleveland defense coming to the aid of their netminder, but resumption will happen inside of Cleveland territory. Ty Gallagher also grabbed an assist on the Fabian Lysel goal. The secondary effort is Gallagher's 4th assist on the season. Schmaltz will take the face-off right circle with Jack Williams. Cleveland wins it with ease, and Svozil will pitchfork it out. Schmaltz rings it in. Dangerous pass for Fedotov. Pearson caught in traffic. And Fashing able to exit the zone. Loose puck. Dragging it around is Pearson again. Point picked off. A foot race now as Duran has the edge. Carries it over the blue line. Looks, trying to go to the crease, and a tap by Schmaltz is no good. Under 5.5 to play. Schmaltz lets it rip, and it misses the post. Now Christian Wolanin sets up at the left point. Providence has dominated offensively in this frame. Svozil will clear here for the Monsters, as Ty Gallagher will set one up deep in his own zone. The jab by Cleveland helps Merkulov. Wraps this one around. We are going to get a whistle by the near side, and Merkulov jabbing in the corner. You don't see Merkulov get involved in fisticuffs much. He threw the glove, and now he's throwing right hands. He was not happy with Tate Singleton in the near corner. We are going to get some scorers box activity after this. And Georgi Merkulov at last separated from Singleton. The Monsters right winger will sit for 2 minutes. So Merkulov, as a result, may have just thrown a power play here for his squad. Nonetheless, it'll bring us to the third and final media timeout of the period as the Bruins now lead it 3-0 over the Cleveland Monsters. Fabian Lysel netted the only goal so far in this period, his 12th on the year, assisted by John Farinacci and Ty Gallagher. 12:27, the official time of the goal for Fabian Lysel. Lysel has picked up his progression in the month of January. Earlier this month, he officially reached 150 career points. That goal there was .151. He is still 1 assist shy of triple-digit assists in his career. He sits at 99 in his 4 seasons with the Providence Bruins. Michael Callahan having a chat with Owen Sillinger and our officiating crew over at center ice. The official call on the ice is a slashing minor to Tate Singleton, assessed at 15:04. But Georgi Merkulov is also called for roughing after he let a couple ones fly by the near side. So offsetting penalties here for both Cleveland and Providence. We will get 4-on-4 action here for the next 2 minutes. A long media timeout here in Providence as once again the officials trying to sort out both penalties. Head coach Ryan Mougenel is asking for an explanation by the bench. Our officials tonight, referees Alex Gagne and Austin O'Rourke, and linespeople Michael Tarquinio and James McQueston. So we will resume action in the right wing in Cleveland territory. Brett Harrison is also going to sit in the box. Dyson Mayo will take the faceoff here for Cleveland and hurry out to the neutral zone. Inside Sillinger, drops it downstairs. So the official call, as we saw Harrison go to the box, we figured it was a case that he would be serving an additional penalty for Providence. And it is a 10-minute misconduct for Georgi Merkulov, served by Harrison. Rather, roughing served by Harrison and the misconduct for Merkulov. So Merkulov not in the box, a shot by Cleveland, saved by DiPietro. Harrison sits for 2 minutes for Georgi Merkulov. Just one penalty on the Cleveland side. Again, the 2-minute call for Singleton's slashing. About 65 seconds remain in the offsetting infractions from both sides. Lysel trying to dance his way into the attacking zone, but the Bruins will have to restart. Tied up on the far side. Picked off. 3-on-2 if the Monsters hurry. They'll take their time, though. Delbel Balouz underneath for Brunet. Patrick Brown got a whiff of a hit underneath the trapezoid, and now Providence will have the open lane. Under 30 seconds to go on the penalties. Blumel turned it over. Delbel Balouz. Patrick Brown there to aid in his teammate. Just over 3 to go here in the second period. Here comes Brown trying to force his way into the zone. Picked up by Williams. He's got Delbel Balouz down the left wing. Drops it off with speed. Delbel Balouz centering pass just misses wide. Now it's Providence's turn. Both penalties out of the box. We're going to get another infraction against the Monsters. And the Bruins will now see another man from Cleveland head of the box. This time it's Caleb McDonald. 2 minutes for a slash. That's now Cleveland's second penalty in this period. And the Bruins will have an attacking zone draw. And a little bit of help here in the second period. A Providence Bruins power play with purpose brought to you by Rhode Island Energy. For every power play goal scored by the P Bruins this season, Rhode Island Energy will donate $25 in support of the P Bruins community partners. They'll call this face-off back. They'll set up just inside of the right wing. Tufte finds Brunet. Tufte, doorstep pass, scrum for it. Bruins almost got it away, but Cleveland provides the blockage. Full ice press here for the Monsters, who are still down 3. They'll drive this one to the near corner of the ice, as the Bruins will pick things up out of their own cage. It's Brunet. Slithers his way past the spoked P. Drives one across to Lysel over the blue line. Tufte waits. Left wing is shot, and Harrison just missed. Tufte to John Farinacci. Lysel analyzes. Carries it up to the top. Brunet slides it across. Left wing, Harrison once more. And that one blocked. Lysel drags it to the right wing. Brunet lets one go, and it misses the post. Under a minute to go in the power play as Cleveland is able to clear once more. Under 90 seconds remain in the second period. Brown hurries in. Drops it up to the point. And now Poitras will go wide of the wall. Wolanin, the only defender, sends it downstream. Poitras connects on Matej Blumel, the former Texas star. Pumps the brakes. Wolanin wide to the right wing. Lysel waits, trying to go across the zone, but he missed Poitras. McHugh awaiting if the pass got to him. But the Bruins quick to reset here with 10 seconds left in the penalty. Brown rushes, finds Lysel. One-timer by Blumel. He missed high. That was almost 2 one-timer scores by Matej Blumel. But Caleb McDonald out of the box, and we are back to even strength. Just over 30 seconds remaining. Bruins will meander inside of their own ice. And now carry it down the near side. Riley Tufte, cat and mouse game to the corner. Big hit after the fact. It's tied up by Schmaltz. Now Duran, the physical effort on the forecheck. 5 seconds to go in the period. The clock will wind down here. Abate maybe one last shot, and the horn will sound. 40 minutes in the books here in downtown Providence. And after a goal by Lysel, an absolute beauty, the Bruins head to the break up 3-0. Cleveland will have a chat in the locker room and try their best to reset here in the final 20 minutes. But they have found themselves in a deep hole, down a trio of scores. Michael DiPietro has been stellar to this point in time, a perfect 15-save performance to this point. We will see what happens in the final frame. But before that, intermission report, second period breakdown coming up after this on AHL TV by FloHockey. We are through 2 periods of action at the AMP in downtown Providence, and the Bruins are now in the driver's seat with full control of this offense. 3-0 heading into this intermission report. Thanks again to all who are joining on a Saturday evening in New England and all around the entire American Hockey League. Thanks again to our viewers who are tuning in on the AHL social media platforms, and of course always through AHL TV on FloHockey. Brett Schaub's captaining tonight's broadcast. Lysel, a wraparound beaut. His 12th of the year, assisted by John Farinacci and Ty Gallagher. 7:23 was the goal in the second period. Tufte and Blumel also have goals in this game. Tufte, a great effort down the far side in the first period, unassisted. Then about 12 and change later, Matej Blumel, his 5th goal of the season, assisted by Christian Wolanin and Matt Poitras, and that was on the power play. Cleveland's first penalty came back to bite them, and Bruins hockey is up big in Providence. Penalties, let's go over them a little bit because this was a highlight in the second period. Riley Duran, a slashing call, started things out at 2 minutes, and that was assessed at 8:23 in the second. And then shortly after, things got interesting. Tate Singleton and Georgi Merkulov got involved in a scuffle at 15:04 in the frame. Singleton was sent to the box on just a 2-minute minor for slashing, but because Georgi Merkulov took his glove off and had fisticuffs after the whistle, Merkulov not only got a 2-minute roughing call, but was also assigned a 10-minute misconduct. So Brett Harrison served the minor in the box for Merkulov, but Merkulov was escorted to the bench and sent away with that misconduct penalty. Again, both of those infractions paired with Singleton's were all at 15:04 in the second. Caleb McDonald had the slashing call at 17:20 for Cleveland, but they were able to kill that one off. They are, if you take away the offsetting penalties, they are so far 2 for 3 on the penalty kill tonight. A solid day for the Cleveland defense, with the exception of Matej Blumel's effort. 5 penalties combined in the second period from both sides. Shot map for period number 2. Providence led the second period chances 9-7. They are still trailing total, though, 13-15. The Bruins in period number 2, most of their chances were in front of Ivan Fedotov. There were 5 opportunities, one of which the wraparound by Lysel. They picked every single spot in front of the crease, but Fedotov able to stop the majority of it. They also had a trio of chances spread out, one in the left wing, one in the right wing, one just outside of the left slot. So while they have been able to move the puck around the perimeter, their game has been inside of the crease, and they have been able to succeed so far, especially in that middle hash. For the Monsters, it's business as usual, like we talked about in the first period. Their shots were completely spread out in the first 20 minutes, and they did the exact same thing in the middle frame. You could argue they were leaning a little bit towards the far side of their zone, but with 3 shots on the near side as well, I mean, they haven't been able to get anything in front of the crease for Michael DiPietro. It's been a casual game for the former Aldrich Bastion winner, and like we talked about right before the intermission report, he is a perfect 15 of 15 in this contest. So again, Monsters, a balanced effort, but so far no goals to show for it through 40 minutes of action. Some notable score updates. Grand Rapids up 2-0 over the Admirals. End of the second period in Grand Rapids, Michigan. The Penguins beat the Wolfpack 4-1 final score. They replicate the 4-1 effort they won against Providence with on Wednesday. 5-3, the Marlies have taken the lead over the Iowa Wild in what has been a crazy turnaround through that middle hash for our friends up north. Syracuse now up 2-0 over the Lehigh Valley Phantoms in Allentown. And Rockford, which Chicago has officially kicked off. Wolves lead 3-1, 2 minutes to go in the first. Other games as well. Texas, Ontario, Stars up 1-0. The Eagles and Silver Knights have also kicked off. After 20, it's tied at 0s. One more period left to go here at the AMP. Bruins up 3-0, and they'll look to retain their lead with more action after this on AHL TV by FloHockey. Third period action getting set to take place at the Amp. Bruins up 3-0 over the Cleveland Monsters. What an offensive showing this has been by Providence tonight. They came into the latter half of this week with a mission to rebound from Wednesday's 4-1 loss to Wilkes-Barre Scranton, and they have done just that. The offense with almost 20 total shots on goal, but again, it's not about the quantity, it's about the quality of looks that they have had, and they have taken advantage of every opportunity in front of Ivan Fedotov tonight. Third period will begin with a face-off at center ice between Patra and Luca Del Bel Belluz. It is won by Providence and kicked out to the far side. Gallagher sends one towards Fedotov, and that one just misses to the near side. Cleveland will escape. They find Gallagher down the wall, and Patra will dump it in. Monsters carry it. They'll drop it back. And Providence, like they've done so far through the first 20 minutes of action, continue to force ice time for Cleveland in their own zone. Played over to the far side and slithered through neutral ice. Wolanin jabs at it, and now Blumel pushes this towards the goal. First line forwards continue to go to work in neutral ice for the Bruins. Play towards Fedotov. Blumel sends one on a centering pass and a beautiful save in the goal. Riley Tufte had that one marked for his second of the game. Blumel charges into the corner. Controlled. Soderstrom. Now Wolanin in Riley Tufte sends it up to the point. Dropped downstairs. Soderstrom. Now for Sillinger. Played into the wing and a save made by DiPietro. He got it just underneath his mask. Tufte slides over to the far wall. Wolanin loops around. It's McCown now. And Riley Tufte will lay him out as the Bruins clear it. Fresh line change for Providence, as Cleveland will shuffle the deck as well. McCown takes it back into the zone. Leaves it for the point. Waiting, a shot by Butcher. That one ricocheted wide, centering pass again. Malatesta couldn't bury it. Back to the near wall it goes. Pumping the brakes is Fasching. He waits, works his way through the wing, blocked by Providence. Kept onside by Cleveland. Shot from the blue line, no good. Malatesta now to the side with Farinacci. And Brett Harrison will go for a full ice chase with Cleveland. Icing is the call, 2.5 minutes in. Farinacci to take the draw for the Bruins. Both sides will stage, and we resume play. Warner will take the face-off win for the Bruins. Duran tried to pitchfork it upstream to Lysel. Now to Michael Callahan. Warner finds it and plays it over to the wall. Controlled by the Monsters, shot from the point, patted away. Now downstairs for Pinelli. This works its way through the crease. Down the far wall, this could be a chance for Lysel, but Cleveland gets to it first. We get a whistle, though, with 16:54 to go in the game, as the wave works its way through the Amica Mutual Pavilion. So the Monsters will have a delayed penalty there as Lysel made his way to the puck. First infraction of the period for Cleveland, and it puts Providence in position of another power play. And this Power Play with Purpose always brought to you by Rhode Island Energy. For every Power Play goal scored by the P. Bruins this season, Rhode Island Energy will donate $25 to the P. Bruins community partners. Great crowd here tonight at the Amica Mutual Pavilion. The energy has been lively as their hometown Bruins continue to pour it on. The official attendance reported tonight, just over 8,000. Blumel works his way through, and that one is sent down to DiPietro. So a 2-minute minor for the Miners, or for the Monsters. It is McDonald again for interference, so back-to-back penalties from McDonald. Bruins swarm in towards the goal. Matej Blumel sets up at the left point. Walks the blue line, throws one on, but it's blockered away by Fedotov. Now Wolanin. He'll work his way near side and slowly creep up towards the spoked P. Down the far wall, Bruins control. Now it's tied up with a trio of Monsters to swarm in. Rimmed around to Tufte. He waits, drops it downstairs. Bruins look to the crease. Now Patra carries it in with a heavy shoulder. Brunet, the only defender on the ice. Watches, centering pass, good interception by the Monsters. And Patra nearly kept it onside. Under 40 to go now for the Bruins power play. Lushmilis starts up a fresh charge with the second line forwards on. Lysel finds Tufte, who plays it around. Up top, Farinacci. And this one wide of Brunet, as this will travel the length of the ice. Good effort by DiPietro to keep it in front. Final 10 seconds here in the power play. This should just about do it for the Bruins. They might get one more shot off. Farinacci into the corner. And out of the box is McDonald. Back to even strength is Cleveland. 2-on-1 if they hurry. Far side. Beats a man. Left wing. Tipped pass. And thrown away by DiPietro. Fashing. Down to the trapezoid. This one tipped towards Lushmilis. And now the Monsters will work near wall. Brunet. Back it goes. And tipped in by Dumais. Far side, Durant looking for Jake Schmaltz and a pitchforked opportunity. And this one will be stopped. 14:15 left to play in regulation. Monsters win it off of the draw. They swivel it into the left wing, and that chance is just wide of DiPietro. This will now work its way back deep into Cleveland territory. Picked off. Now the Monsters maintain down the near side. Rushing in, a shot by Singleton. It's covered up by DiPietro. So he'll thwart that one with just under 14 to go. And the Bruins will signal for the immediate timeout. Pick 6 Grid presented by Rhode Island Lottery gives you the chance to win a P. Bruins prize pack and $25 in Rhode Island Lottery instant tickets every home game this season. For official rules and to make your picks for the P. Bruins next home game, visit providencebruins.com/pick6grid. Taking a look at the road ahead for both sides. First for the visiting Monsters, of course, they have the second game of 2 with Providence tomorrow, and they are at home next week for a pair of games against the Chicago Wolves. They play 3 times next week, twice against the Wolves at home, and then they travel to upstate New York to take on the Rochester Americans. And on the other side for the Providence Bruins, well, we've always talked about the duel with Cleveland tomorrow to wrap up the weekend stints. And then they wrap up the long homestand day, January 23rd. They also have a road game with Bridgeport on Saturday, followed by yet another home game with the Toronto Marlies on Sunday. So 2 Canadian opponents at home next weekend in the second 3-3 of the year. Bruins wrap up the month of January on the road, Jan 31st at Charlotte, the Bojangles Coliseum, located in Charlotte, North Carolina. Providence takes it off of the draw, and they'll send a wobbly puck upstream. Pass to Patrick Brown, to Warner, and now the Bruins maintain with Tufte. Brown shovels it in. And now down underneath the cage of Fedotov. A nod up with the whistle, and well, we'll get a stoppage here. Both sides will go for line changes. Bruins will send out the likes of Wolanin and Soderstrom, followed by Lysel, Farinacci, and Harrison. Rugby scrum for possession. It's won by Wolanin and Soderstrom. Nice pass by Wolanin upstream. Has Lysel in stride, who falls down in the process of cutting. Wolanin now down by the cage. Picked up by Malatesta. And it's a foot race for the puck. Jack Williams in range, but it'll be icing against Cleveland. Back into Monsters territory we go. In the right wing this time with John Farinacci. Great effort by Farinacci on the forecheck to retain possession. Looks towards Harrison, but it's picked off. And now Soderstrom will keep it on side. Finds the outlet and a shot just high of the crossbar. Kept on side, though, by Wolanin and the Bruins. Harrison at the point. Throws one on goal and blockered away. Now tied up inside of the near corner. Bruins put the pressure on. And now a trio of monsters in there to try to poke it out. Harrison fights towards the goal and sticked away this time by Fedotov. Wolanin blasts it. Stop. Second effort. They score. Brett Harrison finishes the job, and it's 4-0 in favor of the Bruins. Another look at the rebound replay. A good initial effort by Wolanin, but Brett Harrison would not give up. Nice job by John Farinacci as well, tying it up on the pads of Ivan Fedotov. And Brett Harrison buries it for Providence's 4th goal of the evening. That's also good for Brett Harrison's 12th point in the season, 5th goal individually. And the Bruins have now scored at least once in every period tonight. Monsters in a deep spot here as the Bruins work deep in their own lagoon. Here comes Duran, splits his legs and now goes towards Abate. The official goal ruled at 7:39. Farinacci and Wolanin pick up assists. A shot is wide. Abate looking to throw it towards the crease. No good. Brunet, a wrist shot. Saved by Fedotov. Rebound and picked up by the Monsters. They have some open space at center ice. They will work through. And now McCown to the corner. Brunet with Duran. And now smushed out towards Leschmilis. In front of the crease, waiting Merkulov, picked off by Cleveland. And now they have the outlet the other way. McHugh drops it underneath. Now it's Callahan past Merkulov. And it forces Will Butcher to backtrack. Providence looking for a breakaway. Lysel ends up dumping it in the zone. As we'll get a defensive swap here. Now a full line change for the Bruins. Just under halfway remaining. Brown over the blue line, finds the right wing. Tufte throws it to the crease. Save made. Rebound and a scrum ensuing as the Bruins almost netted their fifth, but it is cleared by Cleveland. Tipped and gloved out of thin air by Fedotov, and he will hold on at 10:34. The subsequent face-off inside of the right circle here. Providence picks it up. Tufte shoots. And that is way into the bleachers up top in the higher bowl. And some shoving after the whistle. Patrick Brown took some displeasure here with McHugh. And those two going at it in the trapezoid. There have been plenty of tensions all around the ice here from both sides. Callahan initially got involved at the end of the first period. Merkulov got the misconduct in the second. And has since returned to the ice, but now Patrick Brown getting into it with McHugh. Fresh puck from the scorer's box, and will resume things inside of the right circle again. Bruins win the draw with ease. Quick shot from the point, regathered by Soderstrom. Lets it go again, and a shove after the fact on Pinelli. Skirmish after the fact as well. Matej Blumel going at it with Singleton. And for those just tuning in, Tate Singleton involved in the ruffle up with Georgi Merkulov. Patrick Brown plays this behind the cage. Wolanin gets tied up inside of the near corner, and a delayed penalty incoming. It was with Del Bell Blues, and holding will be the call here inside of Providence ice. So Luca Del Bell Blues will go to the box for 2 minutes, and the call is holding. The Monsters now have 3 consecutive penalties. They have 4 of the last 6 penalties as well, going back to the second period. And things just keep going from bad to worse here for the Monsters in search of win number 18 on the year. The P Bruins are back at the Amp tomorrow at 3:05 p.m. for Rhode Island Lottery Big Winner Day. Join us for the chance to win great prizes, including instant lottery tickets, plus the chance to take home a limited edition team logo trucker hat. Get tickets now with a special Me+3 ticket offer featuring 4 tickets for the price of 3 only at ProvidenceBruins.com. Out of the media timeout, the Bruins will send out their power play unit on another Power Play with Purpose, brought to you by Rhode Island Energy. For every power play goal scored by the P Bruins this season, Rhode Island Energy will donate $25 in support of the P Bruins community partners. They've already donated $25 tonight thanks to a power play goal by Matej Blumel. To learn more about the Power Play with Purpose, visit ProvidenceBruins.com. So once again, right circle. Farinacci and company will square dance here on another odd man advantage. It has been all Bruins in this game offensively, and they've got another 2 minutes to work with. Lysel slides it across the zone. Lishmilis, Farinacci, shot! Oh, that just rung the inside of the iron. It looked marked for the goal. Again, Bruins maintain far side. Lishmilis, Brunet, a toe drag, and it's pickpocketed. The Monsters will clear. They work shorthanded as they find an outlet down the left wing. Right wing, shot! What a save by DiPietro. Denies Sillinger. And now the Bruins have odd numbers. Near side, Lysel drops it off. Lishmilis, Tufte waits, and nobody there to bank home the opportunity. Lysel across the zone. Tufte lets it rip. And a save made by Fedotov. Boy, Ivan Fedotov has had his work cut out for him today. Bruins almost cashed in on their 5th of the contest, but nobody home to grab the centering pass, so they'll restart with a minute 14 remaining in the power play. Monsters will win the draw. And they'll look to clear. Nice job by Patra to keep it onside. He waits. Drops it downstairs. Brown. Now to Wolanin. Under a minute to go in the power play. Merkulov prances around the blue line. Wolanin, that pass just wide of his stick. Patrick Brown to the defense. Downstairs it goes. Merkulov on his forehand. Wraps it. Centering pass, and the one-timer missed. Wolanin again. Controlled by Blue Mel. Lower section of the right wing. 34 seconds remain in the power play. Merkulov centers it. Finds an open Patra. Creeps in. Waits. Shoots. Save Fedotov, and the rebound just missed for Brown. Kept on side. Turned over. Patra lets it rip. And another big stop by Fedotov. To the left wing we go. Schmaltz. Wolanin. And out to Duran by the near side. Duran will shovel it back in. Final 5 seconds in the penalty. A quick chance. One last effort for Wolanin. Misses wide. And out of the box is Luca Del Bel Belouz. Here's Riley Duran. Centers it. Pickpocketed by the Monsters again. And they clear with 7:45 to go in regulation time. Here's Riley Duran, has the outlet. Left wing, a shot. And blocker save by Fedotov as it goes out. One last look around the American Hockey League. So far tonight, the Bruins have the largest goal differential of any of the active games in the AHL. The next is 3 goals, which Utica holds over Rochester. Wilkes just finished over Hartford. And Toronto, and likes with Chicago and Texas, are on their way to doing the same. Inside of the near wall, and this is going to be yet another penalty against the Monsters. So Lysel draws this one, and Tate Singleton, who has been on the short end of the stick all night, will sit for tripping. So that now makes it 4 consecutive penalties for the Monsters. And the Providence Bruins have, well, some more time to kill off clock and add insurance. Power play with purpose brought to you by Rhode Island Energy. For every power play goal scored by the Bruins this season, Rhode Island Energy will donate $25 in support the P. Bruins community partners. Up top to Merkulov. First line power play unit on the ice. Patra, a botched pass. And this one will escape the zone. Down the length of the ice, and Wolanin is back to retrieve. So Tate Singleton in the box for the second time this evening. This time on a tripping call. Was sent to the box for slashing back in the latter half of the second period. Blue Mel just missed for his second of the game. Now Brown underneath. Works through the defense, and another successful clear for Cleveland. Now Patra back into the blue line. Merkulov has the open lane. Cuts in. Centering pass. Brown. Just a marvelous save by Ivan Fedotov. And the Monsters clear and work shorthanded. Lysel, even numbers, and he'll rethink things. Fedotov will set up on the far side of the cage as the Bruins creep back in. Lysel works on his own. Now to Tufte. Brunet downstairs. And now controlled by Lysel. Centering pass, no good. Monsters clear. And this is another successful penalty kill unit for Cleveland. They've only given up one power play goal in all the penalties they've taken tonight. 7 total infractions for the Monsters through all 3 periods. Short-handed, far side. Putting on the brakes is Pearson. Takes a hit from Farinacci. Now at the left point. A quick shot. Mask save by DiPietro. Rebound goes to Cleveland. Pearson. Picked off by Farinacci. Final 7 seconds in the penalty. Tufte looking for Lysel in stride. But the Monsters take over, and it's back to even strength. Tufte looking for Lysel. Wraps it back. Loose puck. Providence can't keep it on side. Cleveland will take over. Shoveled by Max Warner. And now played around Justin Pearson. Warner laid down a hit as we approach the final 5 in regulation. Down below, played by Wolanin. Wolanin on to Duran, takes a shove from behind by McHugh. And the Bruins exit once more. Downstairs. Wolanin. Dumped in. And the Bruins will maintain underneath the cage. Abate smushed in. And now Fedotov will play near side. Bruins capitalized by the spoked P. As Lysel continues to kill off some clock here. Finds a lane, cuts in, gathers his own change, looks for the centering pass, nobody there. Brunet takes over the loose puck with 3:40 to play. Warner to Callahan. They'll look to start another charge upstream as the Monsters shuffle the deck. Down by the cage, centering pass and a shot just missed. Scrum, they score! The loose puck was put forth on Fedotov, and the Bruins are up 5-0. Matej Blumel gets his 2nd goal of the game as this offense has poured it on Cleveland tonight. Another look at the Rebath replay. Fedotov just tried to play it around, and the Monsters' defense just found the dangerous outlet, and Fedotov, who didn't even see it coming, it's ricocheted off his pad. And the Bruins are up 5-0 now. Matej Blumel, 2 goals in this game, 5 and 6 respectively. And we will get a delayed whistle here with 3:03 remaining. So final media timeout here in Providence, as it is now 5-0 Bruins off of the sticks of Brett Harrison and Matej Blumel. Harrison is 5th of the season, assisted by John Farinacci and Christian Wolanin. And Matej Blumel nets his 2nd goal of the game in the latter moments of this 3rd period. We're going to take a short break here on AHL TV, FloHockey, but 5-0 Bruins as they look to close out what could be win number 26 on the season. We'll be back after this. Outside of the break, Jake Schmaltz will take the draw for the Bruins and try to close it out for win number 26 on the season. Underneath the cage, Monsters looking for one last effort here in the final moments. That shot's blocked by Joey Abate. Downstairs for McCown. And now controlled by the Bruins. It's Abate. Gas pedal to the floor here for the Bruins over the blue line. Now Abate in stride as it's downstairs for Duran. Duran setting up in front of the cage, and now the Monsters will push far wall. Warner rims it around. To the far wall. Warner splits the defense and down the length of the ice to Fedotov. No icing. Under 2 minutes to play now in regulation time. Brunet plays it around the boards. Patra's got it. Monsters, far side. Jack Williams tips a stick. Leschmelis trying to tip it towards Merkulov as the Bruins continue to meander around the length of the ice here in search of just some dead clock. Well, this was certainly a good start for the Bruins, who knew they had to come in and produce against a Monsters team that was hot. The start of a two-game set, and they are plenty in control for win number 26 on the season. Now for Callahan, has Lysel. And now the Bruins work inside of the near wall. Lysel lost his tracks as we approach the final minute of regulation here in Providence. Loose puck in front, Lysel wraps it around, safe at Otov, and thought he had his second of the game, but he is denied. Fashing dumps it in. Loose puck to Warner. And now Callahan has it inside of the corner. Warner with some speed. Dumps it towards Fedotov. Bruins will go for one last line change here to wrap up the contest. Down by DiPietro. Shifted in. Past Abate. Big hit downstairs. Abate took a blast from Tate Singleton, who has been a little frisky all game. Abate now in the range of Singleton. Final 5 seconds. Chipped out. Abate took one last hit from Tate Singleton, and the horn will sound. Abate a little bit of chirping after the final whistle. They'll escort Singleton to the bench, but the Providence Bruins win it. It is win number 26 on the season, and they win it in dominant fashion. Final score 5-0. They shut out the Monsters. Michael DiPietro picks up another shutout on the year, 21 of 21, and they grab their first of a pair against the Monsters this weekend. A heartfelt salute to the P Bruins faithful, 8,000 plus in attendance tonight. And what a show it was for the hometown crowd this evening. Matej Blumel, what a game for him. A pair of goals for the winger. And Blumel leads the charge in the 5-goal effort tonight. Tufte also had the opening goal of the game. We saw an effort on a wraparound shot from Lysel. And Brett Harrison cashed in on a loose rebound in front of Ivan Fedotov to cap it off. Michael DiPietro again, a 21-save shutout. He once again is in the shutout column, and some confidence going into another crucial series next weekend, taking on Belleville and Toronto at home. It's time to look at your IBEW Local 99 3 stars of the game. Riley Tufte's your third star of the game. Had a goal, the first one of the contest, a beautiful effort at 4:58 in the first period. Matej Blumel is the second star of the game. A pair of goals, once in the first period and the second goal of his game in the third. And the first star of the game, who else but Michael DiPietro. A 21-save shutout and a salute to the fans here at the Amp. A tough day for the Monsters, who prided themselves on strong defense heading into this game, but well, unfortunately 5 goals allowed is not going to cut it. And they fall to 17-13 in regulation time, and they also have 5 overtime losses to show for it. A total record of 17-13, 4-1, middle of the pack in the North Division. On the other side, the P Bruins, 26, 8-1-0 now. They are tied at 53 points each with the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins amongst the top in the Atlantic Division. But the Pens have the tiebreaker over them, plus a few games in hand. But the Bruins, a huge win tonight going into the game tomorrow and next week's slate. Of course, a 3:05 puck drop tomorrow afternoon against the Cleveland Monsters, the final head-to-head matchup between Providence and Cleveland this season. And they will take on Belleville, Bridgeport, and then Toronto in that order next weekend for 3-3 series number 2 on the year. Our friends at Dunkin' will be donating $100 to Hasbro Children's Hospital for every P Bruins home win this season. Tonight's win means the total is now $1,300 and counting. And through the Community Assist Program, Rhode Island Energy is donating $25 for every Providence Bruins assist this season to the P Bruins community partners. To learn more about RI Energy and Community Assist, visit providencebruins.com. 5-0 win for the P Bruins at home tonight.